All right, let's have some fun. We are going to do a whirlwind tour through the last 24 hours on Fox News as Joe Biden officially won the Electoral College. Donald Trump lost it. We already talked about this. Officially yesterday, December 14th, state electors voting, and Joe Biden got 306 electoral votes. It is over. It was over before. It's extra over now. So all sorts of people appeared on Fox News, and they were dealing with this loss in a variety of different ways. Joe Biden said during his speech last night when he addressed the nation that Donald Trump attempted an assault on democracy in trying to steal the election. And that's accurate. And that leads to our first clip. Here is Donald Trump's press secretary and senior campaign advisor. Which one she was last night, I don't know. Reacting to Joe Biden's accurate claim about Donald Trump trying to assault democracy. And she's really upset, guys.
In this, just before coming to air, we heard Joe Biden say that there was an assault on democracy by President Trump asking for a free and fair election. That's preposterous. How fitting is your monologue tonight? The assault on democracy was the 4-year attack going after President Trump, the baseless Mueller allegations, the impeachment over one whistleblower with hearsay.
So she's very upset there, or at least pretending to be. And this is just so simple, but they want to make it more complex. Joe Biden won this election because he won enough states to get more than 270 electoral votes. That's it. And then Donald Trump, despite losing, tried to remain in power. So it is an assault on the democratic will of the people, period, end of story. Very simple. They either don't get it or they pretend not to get it. Here's Laura Ingraham in our next clip, sort of begrudgingly conceding that it is President-elect Joe Biden, but she had to do it in a sarcastic tone. Okay, take a look.
Following the Electoral College vote today, President-elect Joe Biden spoke to the nation tonight.
Listen, as long as you acknowledge that he's president-elect, I don't care if you use a Minnie Mouse voice. I don't care if you say President-elect Joe Biden as Chewbacca. I don't care, as long as you're understanding that Joe Biden is the president-elect. This next one is just delightful. Even Trump supporter and friend of Trump, Geraldo Rivera, has to admit it's over. And wild Trump sycophant Charlie Kirk just can't take it and starts arguing with Geraldo live on air. Let's first listen to what Geraldo had to say.
The modern history of our country, but to persist in insisting against the Supreme Court, against the scores of lawsuits that have gone against him, every single one of them, that he won. That's why these people, they believe him. They love him. They are following his lead. It is the president who is instilling in these people the false sense that they have been gypped. Charlie makes the point that there are so many affidavits or here or there. You litigate each one of them. If someone's guilty of election fraud, you put them in jail. The Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, said that there is no fraud that he has seen of a scope large enough to affect the outcome of this election.
Let me let Charlie make a closing comment here. Charlie, go ahead.
So I'm not thrilled with Geraldo's use of the word gypped. It's sort of like saying you've been Jewed. I'm not canceling Geraldo. It's not the main point of the clip, but I've stopped using that term. But the sentiment here is correct. And Charlie Kirk doesn't like it. And if you try to say something sensible on Fox News, you get attacked. And that's what happened here. And here's Charlie Kirk very upset with Geraldo.
Elections were very much on the margins, especially in Georgia and Arizona, and you suppress that conversation. That is not healthy for our country, Geraldo.
All right, so that raises a question.
For 6 weeks,
Geraldo,
we have litigated this for 6 weeks. Twice the Supreme Court of the United States have rejected it, 9-0, including all 3 Trump associate justices.
But Geraldo, I think the question is, Geraldo.
So that's pretty funny. They just can't take it. And then as a sort of contrast, here's the news side of Fox News, which is often not very newsy, but even they did say yesterday, Brett Baier saying, Joe Biden has officially won.
Well, what is normally a rubber stamp process was anything but today. And moments ago, the Electoral College voted for president in what may be its most watched event in decades, making Joe Biden the 46th president of the United States. Right now, President-elect correspondent Brian Yenna.
Such an uncontroversial statement, that one from Brett Baier, which got MAGA Twitter absolutely furious with Brett Baier. And these are some wild times that we live in. And a little bit later, I'm actually going to talk about a very interesting sort of milestone for Fox News, a negative milestone regarding ratings. And the bigger picture is I am very curious to see what Fox News will look like January 21st and beyond. Not that much longer now. We'll know very soon. I want to let you know that our sponsor, Vincero Watches, is having a massive holiday sale on all of their products right now, and you can take advantage of it by going to davidpakman.com/watch. A brand new high quality wristwatch really is the perfect way to add something fresh to your style, whether it's for you or a gift for someone else. Vincero is a brand that has a serious dedication to the craft of watchmaking, which is really evident when you look closely at their watches. I wear Vincero watches myself. Lately, I've been wearing one from their Icon Automatic collection. It's the mesh matte black watch, and I love the sleek, minimalist design. Their watches are actually sold at a fair price. Their mission has always been to make a wristwatch from high-end materials, but one that everyday people can afford. And that's why they have over 25,000 five-star reviews, because you won't find a better made watch for this great of a price anywhere else. You can get big holiday discounts on all of their products right now and free shipping when you go to davidpakman.com/watch. I've put the link right underneath this video.